Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Athletic School Podcast, a podcast to help you become a better athlete, not only on the field, but also off the field. This episode is brought to you by California Avocados Direct. Real hand-picked avocados straight from the family farm to your doorstep. No warehouse, no middleman, just rich, buttery flavor delivered fresh. If you care about what fuels your body, this is for you. Head to CaliforniaAvocadosDirect.com and use the code The Athletic School for 10% off your first order. Thanks for joining me. Today, I'm going to be talking to you guys about my journey, my preparation for the Ironman 70.3 that I'm doing in August in Louisville. As you guys know, I already made a podcast about why I decided to do it. And if you haven't had a chance to listen to that yet, it's basically because I wanted to do something hard. But I recommend you guys going back and checking that out. But today I want to talk to you guys about how my training is, um, how is it making me feel, and what expectations I have for the race as well. And I came up with a few lessons that I have been learning through this preparation for the Ironman, and I want to share with you guys. Um, the first thing for me, I think it is a little bit cliche, but I think it's very important to put it out there. And the first one is discipline. It's way louder than motivation. It's a sport, the triathlon. It's a sport that you have to train for a long time. There, you just have to put in the work. Like it's a lot, very physical. Of course, it's a lot of mental as well, but it's very physical. Like if you're not good um, in your cardio, and of course, there's techniques when it comes to the swimming, the running, and the biking, but at the end of the day, like sure, there's a reason that why it's called Ironman, and the reason is because you have to be a badass to finish that thing because it's a lot. Um, and I'm gonna be honest, throughout this preparation, if I don't have the discipline to get up and do the work, I'm simply not gonna be able to finish. It's very simple. Um, Maybe I'll finish, but I'll finish with a terrible time, right? And I mean, I haven't done it yet, so I don't know. Maybe I'll finish with a terrible time, but I'm training to have a good time. Um, my goal is to finish around 6 hours. And the thing for me is like, there's a lot of days that I get up and I simply do not want to go. I simply don't want to train. I mentioned a little bit that I have a sports hernia at the moment. So sports hernia, for you guys that are not familiar, it's not like normal hernia that people usually get. So it's either like the muscle is stirred or it's just weak. And in the case, which is good, it's just weak, but it hurts. And trying to play soccer here and there, it just kind of makes it worse. Um, but I've been playing soccer, I've been training a lot, so it's complicated. The process is very slow to recover. And sometimes I get up and like I wake up, I don't even get up, and my mind is just like, maybe you should take the day off. But the problem is when you negotiate. When you negotiate, then first you're wasting your time. Second, you're already losing the battle. So it is a mental battle. It is about discipline. If you have a training plan, if tomorrow you say, look, I'm going to get up and I'm going to run, I have to get up and run. There's no choice on that. Take the negotiation off the table. I try to put my phone away. I've tried to charge my phone in the morning, at night. So in the morning, when I get up, I have to get up to go get my phone and stop the alarm. That by that time, I'm already awake. And then it's a little bit easier to go run. And even when I go run, it's still like, oh, let me go for a 7K run. Well, and then by the fourth kilometer, I'm like, it's hurting a little bit. And of course, you have to be smart, you have to become self aware because Of course, I don't want to make my injury worse. That way, I won't be able to train for a period of time, and then that's just gonna hurt me in the end. So, of course, I have to be smart about that, but I do have to think about those things and win the mental battle. They're like, okay, if I set a goal of 6 kilometers, 7, whatever it is, and I know it's a doable run, I have to get it done. Right? Same thing for biking. Sometimes biking, it's like 2 hours, 2 hours and a half biking. And sometimes you have to go back to work. You have to, like, I have to drive 20 minutes to get to the trail. So it's a lot of planning. It's a lot of planning, and things can get out of hand. But again, it's the discipline and not the motivation. And you know, since I post the some reels about the Ironman, people are coming to me and talking to me, and that gives a little bit of motivation, right? But at the end of the day, it's me against me, right? It's beautiful. It's nice that people are recognizing something that I'm trying to do. But at the end of the day, it is about me getting up. It's about me getting up and going to do the work. Sometimes I have to go to the gym in the morning, do some exercise for my hernia, and then I have to go run. And then I have to go bike. And then after the bike, I have to put the bike away, and then I have to go run. Soaking wet, you're tired, you just want to go home, you're late to do something else, whatever it is. But again, discipline, much, much more important than motivation. The second lesson is your schedule is going to reveal your priorities. So, you know, I don't think it's about finding the time to train. It's about making the time to train. And that goes for everything. The other day I had a conversation with a friend of mine, and it was like, how do you have the time to read? Like, first thing in the morning, I just go and I read 10 minutes. That's it. So we have 24 hours. Everyone has 24 hours. Some people are getting more done, some people are getting less done. And it's about priority. So you have to prioritize what's important for you at that moment. And on my podcast with Wayne, he was like, I know what my next week looks like. I know what my next day looks like. That gives him freedom to know what he has to do and what his priorities are. Even if things go south, he knows what's the main thing that he has to get done that day. And the same works for us as athletes. If I have to go run, I have to go run. Period. If I have to work out, I have to go work out. That's it. You don't find time to do things. You make it time to do things. It's about priority. Maybe your priority is not reading a book, but if you say your priority is reading a book, trust me, you're gonna make time to read the book. It's not about finding the time. Trust me, if you look for time on your schedule, you're not gonna find it. You're never gonna find it. So create time, make time. Don't look for time. Don't look to find time in your calendar. You're not gonna find. Third lesson is consistency beats intensity. And honestly, for me, that's a concept that it's hard sometimes, because in my head, I want to go for a long run, I want to go for a long bike ride, and I want to beat every single PR I have. But that's just not the reality. Have to understand that sometimes it is a recovery run. Sometimes it is a easy work that will be essential for me to be able to push the next day, or even on the day of the run, right? Sometimes when I was starting my training, one of the main runs that I had was about technique. And man, it sucks, right? Have to go do high knees for a certain time, and then butt kicks for another time, and then long strides for a long time. And it's not a lot of running. And in our head, we're like, I just want to go run and go quicker than I did yesterday. But again, especially in the triathlon, but trust me, in life as well, it's not about how intense you go. It's about how consistent you are. It's about creating the habit, showing up daily, and doing the work and putting the work in. Fourth lesson is that training is a mirror. it's perfect for you to win those mental battles. And if you are a college athlete, you're about to go back to training, I recommend you going to do some extra work by yourself and get to a mental battle with yourself and win those mental battles, because that will help you in the long term. Sometimes it is about pushing a little bit more. Like, instead of going for that 6K, that 7K run, maybe can I go 500 meters longer? Can I go a little bit further away? And then my mind is like, nah, let's stop here. Let's not go. It is too much. But trust me, if you do the same work that everyone is doing, you're gonna get the same results that everyone is getting. So remember, training is a mirror. You have to win those mental battles against yourself, against your brain, so you can win in life. You win off the field first, so you can win on the field. Quick break before we jump back in. As a vegan and a hybrid athlete training for an Ironman, what I eat really matters. That's why I have partnered with CaliforniaAvocadosDirect.com. They deliver fresh, hand-picked avocados straight from their family farm in California to your door. No processing, no storage, just straight from the tree to your table. They grow different kinds of avocados throughout the year, like Reed, Fuerte, and Hass. Every order comes with 100% satisfaction guarantee. And what I like the most is that you can even subscribe so you never run out of real food packed with vitamins and minerals to support how you train and recover. Use the code TheAthleticSchool at checkout to get 10% off. Check the show notes for the link. Also, a big thanks to California Avocados Direct for backing up my training and believing the mission. Now, let's get back to the show. Lesson 5, it's one that, depending on what type of training, what type of athlete you are, it might be a difficult one. You might not like it. I don't love it, but it's a lesson that I've learned, is rest isn't a weakness. It's a strategy to win. I always had this mindset, like Kobe Bryant, Tom Brady, all these guys, you work hard, you work more than everybody. And trust me, you have to do those things. But the thing is, these guys are always talking about how they train, but they never talking about how much they rest, right? So they're training 3 times a day, but they're not talking about the nap that they took, the 9 hours of sleep, not the 6.5 that you get and you're happy with that and you say you are a night person. No, trust me, you are not a night person. If you don't see anything in the dark, you're not a night person. The sun give us energy, and maybe you work better from 4 to 9. You know what I mean? Like, maybe you have more energy at that period, but after 11, we are supposed to be in bed. We're supposed to be laying down. And if you don't trust me, that's okay. Go look it up. Go do some research. It might be uncomfortable for you. I'm telling you something that it might go against your ideas, but again, go do the research. Be open-minded enough to learn new things. But like I said, rest isn't a weakness, it's a strategy. And again, it's hard for me because I want to accelerate the process to get to a point that I know that I'm going to be better and I'm going to be the time that I'm trying to be on the day of the race. But in reality, especially with my sports hernia at the moment, rest, it's part of the training. Without the rest, there's no time for my body to recover. And that's why it's so important. You have to look at, how to rest. It's drinking water, it's a lot of foam roller. A rest doesn't mean you being a vegetable at home and not doing anything, watching Netflix and eating ice cream and eating popcorn, even though I love a popcorn. It's not about doing those things. It's a rest that it's part of the training. So keep that in mind and become self-aware of your body as well. Sometimes you do need to sleep a little bit longer in order to perform better the next day. And once you know your body, once you know yourself, you're able to be in control of those things, then improve your performance the next day. The sixth lesson that I have is, if you wait for the perfect time, you will never start. I wanted to do the Ironman when the year started, And it was January 1st, and I wrote on my journal that one of my goals for the year was to do an Ironman 70.3. And I started training. I look up at dates and everything. But then, it's an expensive sport. It takes a lot of time. I was gonna move and all of that. I already didn't have a lot of time. My schedule is absolutely crazy with everything that I have going on at the moment. But it got to the point that I was training, and then my pain showed up, and it got to the point that I had to make a decision, because if I was just training but I didn't sign up yet, you know, and I was just on that point that I'm training just to see how it goes. If it gets better, I'll do it. Otherwise, I'll just push it off. Well, it got to the point that I was like, you know what? I'm gonna sign up. I'm gonna invest this money on myself, on the person that I'm trying to become, because it's not about who you are, it's not about who you were, it's about who you are becoming. And that's the most important thing. Who you are trying to become. What things are you doing in order to become the person that you want to be? So I signed up for the Ironman. And then that's when everything changed, because I was like, I don't care about this pain. I'll figure everything out that it has to be done. I'll train more, I rest more, I'll eat better, I'll do whatever it takes. I'll figure the time, everything, but I'm getting this done. I'm getting this done in August, because that's what I said I would. And that's the person that I want to become. The person that says is going to do something, and I'll do it. Period. So don't wait for the perfect time. You have to start. You have to start somewhere, and you're going to figure out along the way. And again, it's just my first Ironman. I might make a bunch of mistakes. My finishing in 7 hours, and I wanted to finish in 6. A lot of things can go wrong. But again, it's not necessarily about the finish line. It's about how much you learn through the process. And especially in that sport, it's a process that you learn a lot, because it's a long process. There's a lot of things involved. But maybe you are in season, maybe you are in college, maybe you are in high school, and you have 4 years um, ahead of you, and you're gonna be a different person when you finish. And don't wait to go talk to the coach when you score a goal. Don't wait to talk to your teammates. Don't wait to become a leader, even though you might not have all the skills that a leader should have. Just be the leader. Try being the leader. And if the team is bringing in, and you want to say something but you're not sure how you're going to say it, maybe you are a ESL speaker but you're not sure if the words are going to come out, if the vocabulary is right. Trust me, just do it. Do it. Do the first time. The second time is going to be better. The third is going to be a little bit better. And by the end of the season, you're going to be the captain of the team. You know what I mean? I'm just giving an example, but you have to understand that you should not wait for the perfect time to start. You should start right now, wherever you are, and what level you are. Just start, and things will come out to you naturally, as they should. And again, those things that I'm trying to teach you guys, you don't have to be training for an Ironman. You don't have you could apply this to business, to your career, to your family, just getting through a hard season. Maybe you got injured, maybe you are in college, maybe you are in high school, whatever it is. And you can apply all those things to your life. And the biggest thing for me is you have to become a better human being off the field to become a better player, a better athlete. Don't try to do the opposite. If you would only focus on your athlete side, then you're gonna have a hard time later on when things doesn't go your way on your sport. So focus on not necessarily your mental side, but focus on your human side first when it comes to connections, relationships, spirituality, becoming self-aware of who you truly are, and those things will make you a better athlete. And remember, you are capable of whatever you want to do. If you can believe, you can achieve. You have to be able to close your eyes and not only see what you're trying to achieve, but actually feel it. I've been trying to do a lot of meditations from Joe Dispenza, and the main thing that he talks about, it's getting to a state um, of mindfulness, and you bring those elevated emotions to yourself, and then you feel something, right? So it's like, what does um, courage feels to you? What does invincible feels to you? What does it feel like? You know what I mean? Like, can you see it? Can you feel it? Because if you can feel it, then it's like already happened. Then your body's like, I'm already the person that I wanted to be. And then your brain starts to create and seeing things from a different point of view. And then you don't have to become someone else because you already are who you want to be. If stay tuned, because after the Ironman, I'm gonna do a podcast on how it was and another lessons that I have learned. But remember, go out there, do something hard, don't get comfortable, have a growth mindset and remember, you are capable of anything you want. It's not about having all the answers, because you already have all the answers. You just have to ask the right questions.